Natalia and Peter feel on top of the world when they win $1 million. Due to strange coincidences, they both start thinking that the other is planning to slay them for the money. Peter's car is about to stop in the middle of nowhere. He tries to get in touch with Natalia, but she ignores his call. She seems upset and is waiting to board the train. Peter runs towards the station, but misses the train. When he finds Natalia coming towards him, he proposes to her. A few years later, Natalia seems very unhappy. Peter thinks it might be his fault, but he feels proud that he didn't forget their anniversary. She is upset that he was desperate enough to use coupons for their lunch instead of a proper restaurant. He's making her eat at the mall next to his office for their anniversary. He tries to make her understand that the closing of the month gets busy, but she's upset because his ex, Dagmara, who is also his boss, is making him work extra on this day too. He buys her flowers and an iron as the present, because she had been talking about it for a month. He promises to make it up to her, but she doesn't think that will happen till their 60th anniversary. He jokes about having an amazing vacation when they're that old. The mortgage will be paid off, and he might get dementia to forget about his vertigo. This makes her laugh, and she decides to spend some good time with him. They hop on a ride, where a woman asks them to buy a scratch card. She recommends a special one, and Peter jokes about paying off their mortgage with $1 million. They agree to get one lottery ticket for $10. Since Peter doesn't have much change, Natalia pays $7 from her pocket. The woman hands the card to Natalia, because she holds the bigger share. Agata pretends to be excited about the iron Natalia got for her anniversary. She points out how he got it at a special price. Their boss calls them Cinderellas because they have arrived late at work. At the meeting, he claims their client is happy with the concept art. They're moving forward with a campaign for vacuum cleaners. He claims to be especially proud of the women's performance and has a special deal for them. The men in the office are getting to work for a whiskey brand because the boss thinks it's a man's thing. Agata thinks none of the men in the office are real men. One of them lives with his mother, and the other has been dumped by his wife. She thinks only Natalia knows about men's stuff because she has a real family with a husband. The boss tries to get them excited with a family point. Their next assignment is for promoting corn kernels in a can. He claims it's a family initiative because the client's wife wants to create a family of corn cobs. Agata reminds Natalia of the time when they want to run their own cafe gallery. They don't have any money now, and Agata considers murdering their boss. Lucas asks Peter to invest in his band, but he doesn't have any money. He praises Dagmara to get her approval on his album, but she dismisses him. She asks Peter to join her in the office. She shows him a news article about one of the richest Polish women passing away. Her policy with their insurance agency was for $2.5 million, which is passed on to her young husband. They now have to pay him, so the company will have to do cost cuts. She claims she understands how hard Peter has worked, but they are freezing bonuses. She still has a solution in the form of a new product, which is a safe vacation insurance. She's thinking of pitching this idea to the board and wants him to lead the project. She also gives him an anniversary present, which is an insurance policy for Natalia's life. She designed it herself and thinks he should sign it. Peter and Natalia's neighbor, Bogdan, asks if they have made a decision about purchasing his safe. He thinks their money isn't safe in bank accounts, since it's easy for hackers to access it. Peter claims he's not interested, but Bogdan asks him to reconsider. He's taking his wife, Angela, for a trip. Bogdan taunts them about always staying at home, and thinks Peter has a very understanding wife. Natalia wonders what went wrong in their lives. Bogdan and Angela are going for their third vacation that year. She thinks they should also be living luxuriously at this point. Peter jokes about getting a fake mustache and selling safes. Natalia considers getting breast implants, but Peter thinks her body is perfect the way it is. Natalia is in a great mood after the shower, but she almost slips on the rug and notices the socket still needs fixing. She throws his clothes at him and complains about the socket. When Dagmara calls him, she gets irritated that he always has time for her. He cuts the call when he realizes it's too late, but she feels bad she had to remind him about it. Since she's in a bad mood, he offers to sleep on the couch that night. She hears Peter screaming in the middle of the night. She thinks he's having a stroke and tries to call someone. He's hyperventilating, but explains it's because they won the cash prize. His finger is hiding the full amount, so she thinks they won $1,000. But they both start screaming when they realize they have won $1 million. They decide to celebrate, but drop the wine on themselves. Natalia dreams of all the things she can buy from that money, but Peter directly starts thinking about how they can save it and feels bad about the taxes they have to pay. Natalia dreams about dancing her heart out, but gets a call from Peter that wakes her up. Peter thinks they should invest their savings and put it in a fund while they buy a new house. Natalia wants to invest the money in her coffee shop, but Peter thinks it's a high-risk investment. Natalia enters her office with confidence. She refuses to let her boss treat them like they're dumber than the team. She calls him a chauvinist and quits her job. Agata feels like she will be homeless soon. She wants to go to the unemployment office, but Natalia already has a plan. She wants to open a cafe with a small gallery for artists. She explains that she won a lot of money from a lottery ticket. When she mentions $1 million, Agata gets shocked. But Natalia changes her statement and claims she meant $100,000. That's still a lot for Agata, and she gets excited. But she remembers Peter and knows he won't let her spend it. After a shopping spree, they head to the location they picked out for their cafe. The owner has already rented out the unit, but Natalia offers to outbid it and pay 3 months' rent in advance. Peter feels his relationship with Natalia somehow got worse after getting money. He reveals to Lucas that he won almost $1 million. Natalia hides her bags when she realizes Peter is home early. She announces that she quit her job, but he taunts her for already spending money with shopping. She claims she paid it with her credit card, but he's worried about the interest rate. He even wants to get the advance back that she paid for her cafe. She feels she should be able to decide what they spend the money on. Peter has already picked up the cash and claims it's safer that way. They finally approach Bogdan for a safe to keep the cash they need. He leaves them with the 2 keys they need to open it. He takes Peter aside to joke about how the sweetest brides turn into ruthless murderers when money is involved. When they close the safe, they claim they haven't told a single soul about the money. Peter is proud because he finally repaired the socket in the bathroom. Natalia goes to check it out, but gets electrocuted. Natalia discusses this incident with Agata, who is sure Peter is planning to murder her for the money. She points at Peter coming in with Dagmara, but Natalia is sure it's a work lunch. Agata wants Natalia to have proof and slips her phone next to their order. As Dagmara discusses work, the sound of knives is too loud. Agata's phone gets spilled with water, so Natalia decides to meet them in person. She politely greets Dagmara, who jokes about how Natalia puts up with Peter. To make things less awkward, Natalia invites her to a barbecue at their place. She asks Peter to take care of her tab and swiftly rescues Agata's phone. After keeping it in rice for a while, Agata is relieved her phone is working. She plays the recordings where Peter discusses a new chapter in his life. Dagmara reminds him of old obligations. He claims it will all be in the past, and it must be buried. Agata feels like this is code for Peter plotting to eliminate Natalia with his ex-girlfriend. She feels like Peter somehow got together with Dagmara behind Natalia's back. Natalia knows Peter wouldn't do anything to hurt her, but Agata forces her to look for evidence of their affair in the house. Natalia finds the insurance for her life kept with his papers. She pretends she's just organizing when Peter gets home. When he heads to the kitchen to get water at night, Natalia calls Agata in panic. She has learned he insured her for $1 million, which he will get after she perishes. She also believes now that Peter is planning to end her. Agata asks her to just survive the night, but Peter hears Natalia asking if she should slay him at night. He tries to casually slip into the bed, but hears a knife falling from under Natalia's pillow. When Natalia wakes up the next morning, she panics because the knife is missing. Lucas suggests reporting his wife's plans of ending him to the police, but they both know a knife doesn't serve as enough evidence. Dagmara ignores Lucas and gives Peter details of the first resort that is interested in her new project. She asks him to take a trip to the mountains. Lucas thinks this is the perfect opportunity. Natalia comes home to find Peter playing with knives since he's cooking steak. She feels weird because he never cooks and looks at the steak suspiciously. He even pours some wine for her and has beer for himself since he's allergic. She looks suspiciously at a highly toxic bottle to eliminate weed and throws her wine without him noticing. He claims he has another surprise and shows her the card for the vacation. Agata feels like he's trying to take Natalia to the spa and end her. Natalia wants to believe it's a regular vacation. Agata offers to tag along for the trip if Natalia pays for her. She claims it's dangerous, but Natalia ignores this. Peter watches from the room as Natalia examines the bottle to destroy weed. Natalia offers to drive for their vacation, even if she never does. He asks her to bring his adrenaline medkit first, so she goes inside. Bogdan is happy they're finally going on a vacation. Natalia seems nervous while driving in her and almost bumps into another car. Peter asks in panic if she's trying to murder him, but she thinks it's the opposite. She feels Peter is already ruining the trip before it starts by making them drag suitcases. He is dragging them himself and claims he wants her to enjoy the view. He promises to get her all the cocktails she wants that weekend without being miserly. Peter asks for his room at the reception, and Natalia learns the company is only covering him. But he has paid for this vacation with her and has reserved the presidential suite. He has also taken an all-inclusive plan and asks Natalia to look around. She's interested in skydiving, but she knows Peter is afraid. They've been married for 5 years and 5 days, and Peter jokes about them planning to perish together. They get excited with their room and celebrate in their gorgeous suite. Christian Bloch introduces himself as their paramedic, guide, and survival specialist. He mildly flirts with Natalia, which makes Peter uncomfortable. He doesn't remember ordering a guide, but Christian comes with the all-inclusive package he got. He has a hike planned for them tomorrow, but Natalia informs him about Peter's allergies. Since Christian hypes it up too much, Peter agrees to go for the hike. Lucas thinks Natalia has planned for them to hike, so Peter doesn't return. Agata also finds it suspicious that he booked a hiking package by mistake. Peter points out that Natalia didn't know about this trip, but Lucas is sure she had prior information and plans to murder him there. Agata offers to be there for Natalia as her shadow and thinks they need a good plan. Agata heads straight to the bar and orders 6 shots. Lucas claims it's his lucky number, so she orders 12. He shows her his tattoo of these 2 numbers, and she happens to have a similar one. She claims if she believed in fate, she might think this is it. They don't know about each other's friendship with the couple. Lucas does karaoke for Agata and scares all the people in the crowd. He walks her to the room, and they get awkward as she searches for her key. She asks to do this again sometime and enters her room. But as he turns to leave, she kisses him and pushes him into the room. Christian gathers his group for instructions before the hike. He informs them about the missing people and frostbites that happened last year. He asks them to stay alert and claims there are dangerous wild animals in the forest. Peter collects berries and gives some to Natalia to eat, while Christian discusses the dangerous plants and weeds. Christian drops the berries from Natalia's hand as she's about to eat them. He claims even 10 berries of nightshade can cause loss of consciousness and hallucinations. He announces in front of everyone that Peter almost murdered his wife. Christian guides the group forward, but asks them to save the energy for other activities. Another hiker rants to Peter about getting dragged there by his wife. He feels wives take people's whole lives from them, but Peter asks him to not be so dramatic. Christian brings them to a spot where they're supposed to climb the rock in pairs. He claims the activity is about trust, since the person below will watch over the person above. Natalia agrees to go first, and Peter promises to handle her carefully. She doesn't think he can end her in front of everyone. As Natalia starts climbing, Peter encourages her and promises that he's keeping a watch. Lucas distracts Peter while Natalia is still climbing, which makes her slip, and she falls right into Christian's arms. Peter is angry because Natalia now seriously thinks he's trying to murder her. He asks Lucas to stop following them around. Peter doesn't think Natalia is trying to end him anymore, but Lucas points out that she plans to take him skydiving. He feels that is her big plan and asks Peter to take Natalia to a nice dinner. Lucas wants Peter to give her enough alcohol so she gets wasted. Lucas plans to break into the hotel room while they're away so he can make the bathroom slippery. Natalia and Agata are sure Peter is trying to murder her. Natalia tells Agata about his allergies, and she thinks they can work with almonds. She asks Natalia to take him out for dinner. She wants Natalia to make sure Peter orders pasta with garlic, because she has read online that garlic looks like sliced almonds. Agata will then flirt with the chef or the server to switch the dish. When Natalia informs her about their medkit with the adrenaline, Agata asks her to take it and fake the injection. At dinner, Peter is eager to order 2 bottles of moonshine, which Natalia doesn't seem interested in. She keeps forcing him to order pasta, even if he wants to try out the trout. Natalia claims pasta is the chef's specialty and asks the waitress bring the one with garlic. Agata thinks she is flirting with the chef, but it's actually someone who does the dishes. In the meantime, Lucas gets a mask and sneaks into their hotel room. Peter keeps trying to get Natalia drunk as she waits for food. She keeps drowning her drink in nervousness and checks the adrenaline in her bag. She asks him to specially have the garlic in pasta and claims it's delicious. She even makes him try a huge portion from her spoon. Peter agrees that it's delicious, but soon starts coughing as everyone looks at them. She assures him it must be the garlic. As he falls from his seat coughing and choking, Natalia tries to jab him with the syringe. She claims she wants to save him, but he takes it away from her. He gets better soon, and claims she had to pat on his back because it was stuck in his throat. During the walk after dinner, Peter wonders how she knew she had to get his adrenaline. Natalia seems very drunk and claims she had no idea he would choke during dinner. Agata tries to gesture to her when Peter is trying to discuss their situation. He wants to fix it, but Natalia pretends she's swatting mosquitoes. She asks him to go ahead to the room as she gets ice for the drinks. She joins Agata, who is worried about how much Natalia drank. Since Agata didn't put the almonds, her plan B is to sign them up for skydiving. She intends to cut the lines of the parachute before the jump. Her plan is to make Natalia back out of skydiving at the last minute so Peter jumps into the sky. Natalia doesn't think she can manage that, because she couldn't even switch the garlic. Lucas confirms if Natalia is drunk, but Peter doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Natalia overhears as Peter discusses how she almost saved his life at dinner. He doesn't think they are signs of a wife who wants to end him. But Lucas thinks Natalia probably knew it wasn't a reaction, and knows she could have murdered him if it wasn't. He asks Peter to stick to the plan, and hit Natalia in the head with a shampoo bottle once she slips in the bathroom. Natalia is now sure he's planning to murder her, and asks Agata to confirm the skydiving plan. She informs her about his friend Lucas plotting with him, which she finds very funny. Natalia wants to take a shower when she gets back to the room. Peter remembers what Lucas told him, and doesn't let her go in. He insists on using the washroom first, and instantly slips because of the lotion. Lucas feels like Agata might be the love of his life. She finally knows he's working with Peter, and tries to find out what he's there for. He claims to be protecting a friend from mortal danger, but he's sure it'll end the next day at the sauna. When Lucas has slept, she texts Natalia about their plan. Natalia suggests they should go to the sauna the next morning. Peter doesn't want to take her there, but can't resist when she flirts with him. He texts Lucas to call off the plan since he's going with her. Peter tries to sit next to Natalia in the sauna, but she gets up and claims she's getting water for the stones. As Peter waits alone in the room, Lucas turns on the heat. Agata is relieved to find Natalia in the room. She finds it funny that Peter let himself get burned in the sauna by his friend. She wants to celebrate, but Natalia leaves the room to check on Peter, who is missing from the sauna. Lucas is fanning Peter, who reminds him he specifically asked him to call it off. He didn't get any message, but Peter still asks him to stop with the plotting. Peter finds his wife at the bar, and pretends to be a stranger hitting on her. Natalia wants to apologize, but he asks her to role play. He offers to buy her a drink, but Christian comes in to joke about how nice it is they're not trying to murder each other. Sylvia is amazed that they have been together for over 8 years, and married for 5. She thinks Natalia looks great for whatever her age is, but suggests she could change her nose and breasts. Peter doesn't think there's anything wrong with her appearance. Christian clarifies that Sylvia works in a med spa, which is why she's looking for clients. Christian teases Peter for being a cheapskate, but Peter claims this is not about being cheap, because he loves Natalia the way she is. He thinks she looks natural and beautiful. As they take a walk, Peter admits he was acting like an idiot this whole trip. Natalia also feels bad for how she treated him. They decide to forget all that and enjoy the trip. They come across the green cabin, which Natalia feels is exactly their style. Agata and Lucas are disappointed, because they were planning to spend the money with their friends. But they have sorted their differences, and seem to still love each other. Agata thinks if she had that much money, she could afford to love someone too. But they get into bed with each other again. Peter caresses Natalia's hair in the morning, because he has missed spending time with her. He claims to have a surprise for her, and asks her to stay put till he gets coffee. Natalia gets a call informing her about the green cabin reserved by Peter. She feels happy, and checks Peter's phone since she thinks it's about the reservation. She finds a message from Dagmara asking him to remember her plan, and claiming they're together in this. Agata feels like their friends roped them into their madness. Lucas also thinks they shouldn't be trying to murder each other for money. Peter comes back to the room to find that Natalia is missing. He finds a note from her asking him to keep the money, and say hi to Dagmara. He gets confused and reads the message Dagmara sent him. Lucas starts chewing leaves of sorrel weed, and Agata asks for some too. Christian asks why Peter didn't turn up at the airfield for the skydiving session. When he teases him for chickening out, Peter agrees to skydive with him. Agata and Lucas eat more plant with seeds, and don't realize how high they are. They think Peter and Natalia use them, and should pay for it. They feel like they have taken away their money, and are cruel for ignoring their awesome plans. Dagmara finds Natalia sitting by the road. Natalia feels they couldn't wait to be together after she left. She thinks Dagmara wants to finish what she started in high school. Natalia lies down in front of her car so she can end her. Natalia claims Peter is waiting for Dagmara in the green cabin. She realizes Natalia is jealous and explains that Peter texted her to quit the job. He wants to spend more time with his wife. He resigned just before a new project, so she came out there to convince him to not quit. Peter asks if they can wait for Natalia, but Christian insists they need to head out soon. Dagmara's second marriage ended because of lack of communication. Natalia doesn't want to make the same mistake with her first and tries to look for Peter. The receptionist informs her that he is at the airfield for the skydiving lesson she booked. She realizes Agata must be behind this and heads to the airfield with Dagmara. She misses Peter's flight, and he successfully skydives with Christian. She runs towards him when he lands and is glad he survived. Lucas and Agata come to Peter and Natalia's room, but they have already shifted to the cabin. They seem to not be in their senses and grab some firefighting equipment. Peter and Natalia finally get to spend time alone, and he realizes how she has always been there for him. She knows nothing makes sense without him either, and they're happy to be together. They hear some noise, but Peter thinks it's too late for room service. Natalia wants to check the source with him, and they try to defend themselves with a badminton racket. They find Agata and Lucas at the bottom of the stairs, who want to attack them to get their money. They ask their friends to stop, but Agata and Lucas are willing to fight. They even break the door of their room and plan to kill them. Natalia and Peter try to reason with them, but Agata just asks them to hand over the money. Lucas tries to attack Natalia, but falls to the ground from the balcony while attempting it. Agata tries to murder them too, but Natalia holds her and falls with her when she's trying to attack Peter. Natalia holds on the balcony while Agata clings to her foot. Agata eventually falls too, but Natalia gets pulled up by Peter. Their safe at home has been emptied because of Bogdan, who apparently stole from all the safes in the neighborhood. He has been wanted for a year and has disappeared with their money. Agata and Lucas were found to have ingested Jimson weed, which led to their hallucinations. Peter and Natalia visit them at the hospital, and they apologize for their behavior. Agata promises whatever happened was because of the... But Peter and Natalia don't want to forgive their friends that easily. Agata and Lucas are working at Natalia's cafe, and Agata brings lunch for Natalia and Peter on their anniversary. It's their 6th anniversary, and they already have a baby on the way. The same woman from before tries to give Natalia and Peter another scratch card. They don't wish that on anyone, and refuse to take it since they're very happy with each other.